What's good, y'all? Take it with all things Ruthless, home of the Ruthless Addict. And so we see where Paris walks in the house and she sees Roman sitting on the couch before Vegas or before Nevada could say, hey, we got some things going on. So anyway, she recognizes Roman and is immediately ready to pop off because she associates him with Bobby the Beast Boy. But he says, I have nothing to do with anything that Bobby has going on. And this is your brother. In fact, says Rio, this is your brother. We are triplets. And Auntie Nene somewhat confirms it, but by saying that your mama is upstairs crying about this whole situation now, basically he was taken as a baby. It's not his fault, but this is really our son. So LC and the boys walk in, concluded Orlando, and Orlando's like, this is not our brother. We need to get a DNA test. So Roman is just like, hey, whatever, I'm cool with getting a DNA test. But then Chippy walks down, she's upstairs calling down, listen, we don't need a MNF and DNA test because I know for a fact that is my son. He has eyes like me and he has a head like his father. LC, you should even recognize that head. So LC says, I'm gonna go handle this. I'll check this out in the morning. So LC heads on over to Aunt Coretta's house to talk to her to see exactly what happens. And she confirms that Roman was basically abducted by her sister, Margaret, who has recently passed away. And so he's saying, well, you're just as guilty as your sister because you didn't say anything anyway, which is true. She could have said something, but she didn't. She was protecting her sister. So then we see Roman, and he's just looking at some of the pictures, and he sees Uncle Junior. He's like, well, where's he? And then Nevada says, well, he's not really, hanging with the family right now. There's some things going on. So later on that night, we see Roman, and he is just going to leave. Orlando is cool with it. He's happy for him not to be there by MF, you know what I mean? So it's breakfast time, and they're expecting Roman to come down for breakfast. And so Rio has to go and look for his brother in the guest bedroom. So we also see London, who has been laid and slayed for 2 days with LoJack, and she sees Roman, but Roman talks to LoJack and says, well, what do you know about the Duncan family? And he says, they're not one that you really want to mess with. So Rio comes back and says that Roman is not in his room. And, immediately Chippy wants to blame Rob, but Rob is like, bro, I ain't had nothing to do with that. I'm not responsible for keeping people in. I'm responsible for keeping them out. And the whole time, Orlando is eating this whole thing up, eating a biscuit, smiling, cheesing from left to right. And, this is when that moment where we see where Roman actually went, y'all. He actually went to talk to Miss Coretta and find out, well, what is the truth? I know you told him questions or you answered his questions, but you really didn't answer my questions. And before she could really talk, she said, before she could really say something that was worth substance, Vegas knocks on the door. And so once Vegas knocks on the door, he hears his voice and he comes in and says, hey, little brother, I love you. I'm just coming to check on you. You, my little brother, I'm going to check on you. And he lets Coretta know, hey, I will be back from time to time if you choose not to go with me to come and check on them. And so Miss Coretta gets up and say, hey, Roman, go ahead and go with him. There's no answers here. Just go ahead and go with him. So not only does he go with him, but he goes with him to handle some business. Like, this is the type of fun that Roman was literally made for anyway. So he goes in and he has his brother's back. He goes to see this guy who owes Vegas $150,000+. And so he came to collect, and they did what he did. And so they make their way back to the house, y'all. And she's happy. Chippy is happy that her son, her baby boy, who she did not know even existed, but was taken from her, she is happy to know that he is back. And she talks to him and explains to him, you don't have to call me Mrs. Duncan, please. You don't have to call me Mama either, but please don't call me Mrs. Duncan. And she says, I knew who you were. I had a feeling. I couldn't quite say it, but I had a feeling. So then the conversation continues with Mimi as well as Mariah. They're telling their mom about their new uncle. And eventually London turns around and says, what you mean your new uncle? So she goes downstairs to the kitchen, and yeah, it's true. This is your brother. He's our brother. What you mean daddy cheated on mama? No, your daddy did not cheat on your mama. Auntie Nene says, long story, we'll explain it to you later. So anyway, London she's not so much as cool with it, but she's cool with him because of the fact that he didn't blow up her spot and let everybody know that she was out. He actually met her or actually saw her out hanging with LoJack. So she takes him to go get a suit from Pierre because they don't do malls, they do boutiques. So they go or men's shop. So he went, he gets fitted for the suit, but then he finds out that this suit is gonna cost him about $1,000. And Roman is like, I don't have that kind of money to be spending on a suit. Do you have something cheaper? And he's like, that is the cheapest that we really got. And so the same time, Chippy walks in and says he's going to take that one and he's going to need some shoes to go along with it. She says that suit fits him. And she explains to him, yeah, I'm upset, but I'm not so mad that I wouldn't allow you to go and mourn the woman that raised you. And from this point on, you never have to worry about money ever again in your life. And so we see Roman, he's acclimating himself to the family, but he's bonded closely with the younger kids. They're in there playing video games, and little Vincent, aka Lil O, is in there. They're all getting hyped up, and he's excited. And in comes the Grinch that stole Christmas, Orlando. Why are you here getting my son upset? First of all, Orlando, you never told Roman what kind of issues little O had. So give him some grace, yo. And at the end of the day, you might want to be careful because he may be the one that saves your son. That's all I'm going to say. So now it's time for Roman to go and mourn Miss Margaret. He has a stranger that comes up and pulls up to pick him up. And he literally goes to the funeral. She's asking questions, but he's telling her, you worried about the wrong thing. Focus on getting me to my mama's funeral. And so she takes him to Miss Margaret's funeral, but Roman is going through it because the pastor is up there talking about how good Miss Margaret was and how good of a woman she was and all of the things. And he just cannot take it, y'all. And when he gets up to get up out of there, he was like, man, I can't take this ish. Before you know it, y'all, the family is literally there surrounding him. You got Cousin Curtis, you got Auntie Nene, you got Paris, you got Rio, you got Vegas that's there, you got Nevada that's there, and the security. Like, they are there to support him. Of course, Chippy and LC wouldn't be there, but it makes more sense for the siblings to be there to surround him. London didn't make it, and no, Orlando didn't go right. Of course, we know Junior is out there in the wind because he got beef with the family. So, and he probably will spaz out even more once he finds out about Roman, okay? But anyway, y'all, what are y'all thoughts? Do y'all think they should get this DNA test? Do y'all think Chippy, should, regardless of what, do you think she should get this DNA test, or does a mother know their child? At the end of the day, y'all, my opinion, yes, they should get this DNA test because in actuality, this DNA test could actually happen to help little O. And that's my thoughts on that. What do you guys think? Comment below. Let me know how you're feeling about the return of family business. And let me know your thoughts on this whole DNA, no DNA test, okay? Anyway, y'all, that's about it for now. Thank y'all for tapping in, tuning in. Please hit that like, share, as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can receive reminders of all new Ruthless content, okay? All right, your girl Tika's up out. Stay ruthless.